entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Item number 1, under old business, zoning text amendments related to drive-throughs. Zach, welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Just to give you kind of a brief refresher. Yeah, so these are zoning amendments. They should be right in front of you, but if not, I have them here, related to just fixing some items that were a little bit more restrictive than we intended them to be when we updated the zoning code, specifically related to drive-through restaurants, or drive-throughs in general. But I can answer any questions if y'all have any further questions or.
Chairman, I think I had asked last week that it be tabled. I needed to find out some more information. I believe I found that information out. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second to approve the zoning amendments. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 1 is approved. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
New business, item number 2 is approval of a minor public works contract with Edco for herbicide spraying. Total is $9,065. Kimberly, welcome.
Hello, how are y'all?
Good afternoon.
Good. This is for an herbicide contract with, and this is going to be funded out of the Fletcher Outside Services, and this is to treat along our right-of-way facilities in different areas that we used for the wastewater treatment plant.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is approved. Item number 3 is authorization to execute a reimbursable agreement with ALDOT, the Alabama Department of Transportation, for relocation of utility facilities regarding the resurfacing on State Route 215 from State Route 7, which is US 11 Skyland Boulevard to 10th Avenue. Kimberly?
Yeah, there it is. Okay, this is a reimbursable agreement. It's no cost to the city, but ALDOT is resurfacing the area of the road right there, and basically we have a contract with them because they have to raise and lower our valves when they resurface. So the contract's just in place to give them the authority to, their contractor the authority to raise and lower valve covers during the resurfacing of the project.
And I'm not clear on what we're looking at.
So it is, the resurfacing is.
State Route 215 from SR 7, US 11 / Skyland Boulevard to 10th Avenue. What are we looking at up here? Help me, Kimberly.
Well, the road names aren't on there, but it's basic,
Well,
not much of them on there, but it's basically, it's, to resurface along Greensboro Avenue from Skyland to 10th.
okay, from Skyland to 10th Avenue?
That's what I have, yes.
I don't think Greensboro intersects 10th Avenue.
Right.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
runs back that's
Oh, yeah, down by the southeastern meets.
Yes, that's it.
Save you dollars.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
City in the United States, the 2 avenues intersect.
That's a great place to get a steak.
Okay.
I didn't realize that the road names didn't show up when we did this
Okay.
map, but yeah.
South Nice Meat's great.
All right. So
it's
we're
no
paying
cost.
up front. ALDOT's reimbursing us.
It's a reimbursable agreement, and that's just in place if we do have issues and things that we have to go out and address with,
Okay.
but there's no cost to the city.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Got to move second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3 is approved. Item number 4 is approve of change order number 1 with Rev Construction for the State Route 69 intersection improvements at State Route 7. Deductive total $656,643.18. Kimberly?
This is the balancing deductive change order to close out this project. And so the amount is $656,643.18, and that will just go back in the undesignated reserves for the water and sewer fund. We're
What's
just
the-
balancing the final quantities.
What's the
It'll
main
go
driver? What's the main driver of that deduction?
I think there were some things that we thought we were gonna have to relocate
That you
and didn't on the water side. And there was an allowance built in. It was a pretty steep project. It was a $9 million project. And so we did have a pretty substantial allowance in there, and that's what the majority of this is.
And it goes back to where?
TCRIC.
Say again?
TCRIC. This is
Oh,
fully funded by
okay, yeah, we
TCRIC.
talked about that in finance. All right.
Perfect.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is approved. Item number 5 is approval of a balancing change order with Dominion Construction for the McFarland Boulevard Access Management Project. Deductive total is $175,604.64. Josh, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, this is the McFarland Boulevard Access Management Project, the city's utility relocation portion of this project. It's a deductive change order of $175,604.64.
Okay.
And
So
it's-
that's all.
We're looking over in your district, right?
absolutely. What was the main driver of this savings?
We had some
Josh?
water also on this project that we thought was going to need to be relocated, and it was not
Didn't happen.
needed. And these funds are unused grant funds that will not be reusable.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5 is approved. Item number 6 is approval of balancing change order with Price Civil Services for the Juanita Drive Improvement Phase 2 project. It's a deductive total of $385,789.11. Josh?
Yeah, this is the Juanita Drive Phase 2 project. It's a deductive change order, $385,789.11. The reason for this deduction is we had some unsuitable material that we thought was going to be needed to be removed in the roadway, and we didn't have to use as much or remove as much material. And there was some work in these backyards that we had some grading and stuff that we thought we would need to do that was not needed as well.
Josh, I want to say they did a really good job.
It's a very
We went
nice
out there
project.
A couple of times,
Looks good.
Yeah, they did.
and as compared to Juanita's
That's-
Drive Phase 1,
Oh, my gosh.
this
It looks good.
this was
Yes,
certainly
that was a nightmare.
yeah. So they really did. So thank you and to your team, and thank you to the contractor and engineer. They did a really good job.
Absolutely.
Is this also grant money that will not be able to be used on other things?
No, this money will go back to the general fund contingency pot to be able to be reused.
Okay. Is this part of that money
This is
Well,
part,
we'll talk
this will be
about
in the general fund RFFI that would be coupled with the mayor's capital proposal in a couple weeks.
I'm good.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 6 is approved. Item number 7 is approval of an engineering contract amendment with Cassidy Company for the Juanita Drive Improvement Phase 2. The total is $3,227.15. Josh?
Yes, this is an amendment to their contract for an increase of $3,227.15. Their proposal was presented to us in 19. This project didn't go to construction until 24, so these are just these increased construction costs for testing on this project.
Question?
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion to second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7 is approved. Item number 8 is approval of a professional services contract with TTL for construction material testing and special inspections for the police logistics building. The total is $9,000. Tim, welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So this is funded by the construction project account for the police logistics building at the public safety logistics site. And this is for TTL to perform special inspections and construction materials testing for earthwork, base stone, concrete placement, and masonry.
Questions?
How soon will they get started?
So the contractor, which is NC Morgan for this job, has been issued the notice to proceed, and so they have ordered the pre-engineered metal building, which is expected to arrive later in May. So we would expect TTL to begin once they begin site work.
Okay.
Questions?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 8 is approved. Item number 9 is approval of a minor public works contract with Chip Griffith Construction for first floor renovations at the municipal court. Scott, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So this, the location's municipal court. This will create 2 transaction windows that will eliminate the need for patrons to enter through the security to pay their bills or fines. It'll also create 2 more offices and another secure spot to enter.
What is the source of this money?
This will be from the facility renewal fund.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 9 is approved. Item number 10 is approval of a minor public works contract with Chip Griffith Construction for removal of asphalt and installation of steel sections to transition between parking lot behind Annex 3 and Annex 1 buildings. The total is $4,100. Scott?
Yes, sir. So this will be facility renewal also. This steel plate will protect the expansion joint that is existing now, and it will clean up all the asphalt where they built it up.
Questions?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 10 is approved. Item number 11 is approval of a minor public works contract with Tusco for installation of 2 motorized gates at the water distribution building. The total is $53,572. Scott?
Okay, so the funding would be water sewer facility renewal through the distribution shop improvements. What is it? There's 2 gates, one 30-footer and one 16-foot. The first one will be at the water distribution building, and the other would be for the meter shop. Basically, what it's going to add is security. It'll have card swipe, motorized. Right now, they're just manual, and they're old.
Are these new or are we replacing?
These will be replaced.
Replacing.
Okay.
Questions?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Item 11 is approved. Item number 12 is approval of a minor public works contract with Alabama Pro Wash to soft wash the dormer on the eastern side of Annex 3. Drive-through window roof and eastern brick wall. The total is $1,485. Scott?
Okay, so this is, the funding will be outside services from the general fund. This will improve the overall appearance of the east side of the building. It's going to be done with a soft wash drone, so it eliminates all the scaffolding and things like that. And, you know, if this goes well, this could be a huge savings.
A
across
soft
the board.
wash drone.
So it'll be a drone that'll have a soft wash, which is chemicals. It breaks down the.
So it's flying up there spraying stuff on the side of the building. It's not carrying a water tank,
It has a water hose and
a water hose.
and a soap dispenser.
And is it carrying the water?
Mm-hmm. Now the hose, of course, feeds it to it.
Okay.
But,
Even I figured that.
Huh.
but it's pretty interesting.
That's pretty
Cool.
I want to know when you do it. I want to see it. Motion.
Of your house.
I've got a motion, Matthew.
Go spray paint
Motion.
your enemy's house at night.
Second. All in favor say
Aye.
Aye. Item number 12 is approved. Item number 13 is approval of a minor public works contract with Night Sign Industries to replace the letters at the Tuscaloosa Police Department headquarters. Total is $1,355. Scott?
Yes, sir. This will be on the, I guess it'd be the east side of the building. It's one of the L on the Tuscaloosa Police Department has completely gone. Wherever it's gone. I
So
don't
they
know.
didn't misspell it. They were burglared of an L.
It's not misspelled. It's just missing at this
It's
point.
missing.
They know how to spell police.
Do I hear a motion?
Second motion.
What do you mean it's missing? Where'd it go?
The drone took it.
I don't know about the drone, but maybe the wind.
All right,
the wind-
second,
the wind-
second,
the wind-
second,
the wind
second.
blew it away.
Do we want to spend any more time on item 13? Got a motion and a second. All in favor say
Aye.
aye. Aye. Item number 13 is approved. Item number 14 is a discussion item, just an update on Martin Luther King Jr. and the Jack Warner Parkway. Mike, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So 2 weeks ago, I stood up here and gave y'all an update on the Phase 3 project. We talked at length about the mainline spur plans being approved, and then we had the Goodrich spur line and kind of got that. I'm here today to announce that on April the 2nd, we got the approval from the railroad for the Goodrich spur line. So I guess just as a quick recap, we now have both sets of plan drawings for the railroad reconstruction approved. We still have the construction and maintenance agreement to work through with the railroad, which we'll be doing with OCA. But the approval of these both sets of plans puts in motion our design team can now do their final quantities for the project, get us an updated cost estimate. They've told me we'll have that in about 2 weeks. So there we'll see where we stand with what the estimated cost of the project is. It may or may not mean that we need to look at modifying our funding source through TICRIC. That's still an unknown, but I feel like this is a great news. We're really moving ahead now.
Mike? you have a question?
No,
I'm gonna start
I
with-
agree with you.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's good news, but in the, I hate to say in the perfect world, but where we are right now, what would be, again, I understand there could be issues with OCA and contracts, I get all that, but what is our path forward now that we think is the best guess of our timing of kind of some of this stuff moving again? Would you think is reasonable?
I think it's reasonable to expect that we could potentially be advertising this project in, I'm gonna say June or July. That's 60 days or so.
And and once you do that and we accept a bid,
Yeah.
what is when do we get to the finish line with this?
So the project is estimated to be about 30 months of construction duration. I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. The advertisement process for this project is going to probably be longer than what we normally see. There's going to be a pre-qualification period for the contractors that propose to bid on this will have to be approved through a vetting process with the railroad. So I would expect that the bid process is going to be probably 45 days longer than our normal bidding process. So you're talking about another month and a half.
Because it takes a specialized company to do this type of work.
That's right, and
Certification probably
There is
be approved.
I love Mr. Gardner's optimism. I do think there's a layer of complication that he can't control, and that is, one, we will have to likely update our funding agreement with TICRIC, which is outside the bounds of the Office of City Engineers. So that could, that could be a 30 to 45 day window. And then you also have financing as well, because the city will fund the project and then have to get reimbursed by TICRIC. And I think we also go for validation.
Yes, sir. Part of that new funding agreement will be getting validated in circuit court as part of the process for financing.
Didn't have those things, I think July could be a window with those things added. And Mike, if y'all can get it to bids July, I'd love to get it to bids. I think likely fall of our last quarter of this year or first quarter of next year. The financing, the agreement with TICRIC, the validation, those things are, we're gonna be working on, but I just don't want we all to leave here and go, why isn't this project in bids in July? Because those are things outside the control of the city engineer's office.
Well, the good thing, I think, is one of the things that I don't think I've done a very good job of, Walt, as committee chairman, is I want to set some type of list of things to have periodic updates. And I was going to talk to you about that, but it's kind of like nothing different than what I do with engineering when I meet with them about every month. Every 3 weeks, we talk about projects in the district, but we also talk about bigger picture things like going on in the city, different things. But I kind of want to start a list where maybe once a month or once every 4 or 5 weeks or whatever that we have. And I think I said something several months ago to Kimberly about this too, but just kind of where I'd have Kimberly up and we say, okay, what's going on with blank and blank and blank, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing with this kind of stuff, Mike. I just think it's good for us, but I think it's good for the public if there is a delay to understand what's going on. If there's something good to report, I think people need to know that and say, here's where we are. So there's always that communication, but just the expectation, because I think it's good for us to keep up with that stuff too. And
Mr. Crowe, I think that's a great idea, and we would love to work with you and facilitate.
Yeah, and just keeping a list of stuff. I just think that's a good thing. I think it's good for all of us. So anyway, that's kind of an idea that I think we should implement, but anyway, but that's, Mike, I appreciate you coming up here today. Any other comments you have or committee members?
No, sir, just,
Busby, do you have questions? Anybody, Kip, you got questions, anybody? John?
No.
Any? Okay, thank you for the update. Thank y'all for that. Is there any other business to be brought before this committee? Our next committee meeting will be next week, April the 15th at 2:30, Lord willing. Any other questions? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.